Happy Tuesdays. We're doing Tuesdays with Very Wise Alternatives, answering the subscribers' questions. We got a couple of subscribers wanting to know which tea they can use for lung support. So I'm going to go over about 8 teas. But first, before we get started, like, share, and subscribe. Because you know how YouTube is. We want to make sure that we hit the like button so the video gets shared more. So I wanted me some peppermint tea, so I'm going to just show you how I make my peppermint tea. So I have my peppermint. Oh my goodness, this peppermint smells so good. Whoo! I don't know, you're being in school and school's boring and you got some peppermint gum and you just eating that peppermint gum and it's like, oh my goodness. It's first as soon as you put it in your mouth and just to get that peppermint, oh my goodness. Smelling this peppermint is so good. Look, what I love with peppermint tea, man, I call it making my breath tea. A lot of people have different look. There's so many different varieties of breath tea. There's so many different ways you can make it. But I just call it my breath tea because I love the smell of peppermint. Especially, don't you want peppermint mouth? I'd rather have peppermint breath than garlic breath because I eat a lot of garlic. But I'm just clowning because look, I love the smell of peppermint. Look. It controls cough. It helps drain mucus. You can use it in a steam. Oh my goodness. You can use it in, it's like an inhaler vapor. It would just open your lungs. So that's why I love I love my peppermint. So what I do is I just take 1 teaspoon. I just take 1 teaspoon. That's all you need is 1 teaspoon. You know, I put it inside of my cute little cup and I go ahead and get my water started because you want to make sure the water is nice and hot. Make sure my water is nice and hot. So while we're waiting on the water to get hot, that was the main reason why I use peppermint tea. It is amazing. Now, the next tea that you can use is elderberry tea. You guys already know about the elderberry tea. Elderberry tea is an antioxidant that prevents your damage in your cells. It's good for cough, colds, infections, congestion, because you know how sometimes we have congestion, especially what's going on now and what's going on around in the air, and you just got to make sure that we are breathing some good air, making sure that we're breathing and making sure that, we don't damage our lungs. There's a lot of people, wearing these masks and still wearing these masks and going around, talking about the tatted and untatted, it's like confusing. So these are different things that you can use. Another tea you can use is called calendula tea. Calendula tea is good for coughing, wheezing, deep breathing, and tonifying your respiratory systems. So definitely check it out. The next tea you can use is dandelion root tea. Dandelion root tea, it good for inflammation and clearing your lungs. Because look, we always want to look, the water heating up. We just want to make sure that we are breathing, we're taking care of our lungs, because that's one thing we don't do. We don't really think about our lungs. I know I keep saying that about every organ, but I want you to think about the whole body, your whole total health. So I just want my water to get hot a little bit more. I like to just go ahead and turn it before it whistles. So next tea I want to talk about, so I'm going to go ahead and pour my water since my water is nice and hot. Pour it over. So next tea I like to talk about is mullein leaf. Now y'all know mullein is the best herb that you can use for your lung support. I love the mullein leaf because it supports and cleans your lungs. So make sure you get that. And next is echinacea. What I love about echinacea, is good for colds and flus and upper respiratory infections as well. So it cleans, and all these teas help your immune system. So look, always think about it, and always think, because we want to make sure we breathing. We don't know what we breathing in with that mask, or what it's doing, and what it's doing is actually restricting our air. So we want to make sure that we are taking care of our lungs. I just want to make sure that I touch bases on some teas, because just because it's summer, you still be drinking tea. Because look, y'all still drinking coffee. I got a whole lot of people still drinking coffee. Substitute. Instead of having your coffee, substitute for some tea. Do it alternate a week. I know I've been talking about teas all them other times, but we're talking about the lungs. We're talking about different. I just want to make sure you have different varieties of teas that you can use. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to let this sit for 5 to 10 minutes. So as it's sitting, I'm just going to go over some more teas and just go be real quick. The next one is reishi mushroom. I don't know I know you guys heard of that reishi mushroom. Reishi mushroom tea, it rejuvenates our lungs. Because, we all want good lungs. We all want to make sure we breathing, because it's nothing like, having congestion and always hacking, or just wheezing, and, with the pollen and all the other stuff in the air. We just want to make sure we're protecting our lungs. So look, try some of these teas. Try some of these teas, because look, everything that helps. And I'd rather you go to natural route. So if you can, pick up some teas. That's why you got your apothecary. So, all right, family. So and when it's ready, I just pour it in my glass. The next you want to do is you want to add some honey, just a little bit. I just add a little bit of honey, and then I'll either put a little bit of cayenne pepper for a kick, but today I'm gonna use just a little drop, just 1 drop of black pepper essential oil. So that's my kit. That's what I do. And that's what I do with my tea. So there you have it. What Herbalist Viola do with her tea. Then I would just mix it for you to, get that oof. And this is why I say it calls my breath tea. That's good. And there you have it, my tea. All right, family, I hope you try these teas. Look, lung support. Just going over teas, but you can use them in capsule form, tincture form. You can use them, in soups. You can use them in salads. It's a whole array of options you can use with these herbs and tea for good lung support. All right, family, happy Tuesday. Bye.